Welcome back to Ask Genie, all about thermography and wellness. We're doing a series, and this is the third episode of our series. We're not sure how many we're going to do. We're just going to go until we're done. So last episode, Genie, we talked so much fun stuff about weak links and, basically about preventative measures and how thermography is one of the greatest tools in our toolbox for preventative measures, getting to know ourselves, taking charge of our health history, documenting what goes on in our lives so that we understand ourselves, and, ideally making lifestyle changes as a result. So today we're going to kind of segue into a little bit of bring in a little bit of what we talked about last time when you were talking about the weak links, discovering through your intuitive and certified degrees and everything, what you can tell when you look at people, what their weak links might be. You talked about how I have big eyes and that
sucks
energy. And my long neck, we've got Nefertiti, but we put her away.
It came back.
Yeah.
But again, long neck is it's a symbol of beauty.
Okay, I'm going to get Nefertiti for you.
Okay, so, get back.
Nefertiti, we talked about Nefertiti, the long neck.
Which is gorgeous.
And I got her in Egypt. This is alabaster. And basically today we're going to talk about the spleen a little bit more.
No, we're done with spleen.
Are we done with it?
Can I say something about, you said that we need to record. You're absolutely right.
Right.
I'm very good in dot connections.
Right.
But I can't create those dots in my mind. You have to provide me with information. You have, in order for me to connect the dots, you have to provide me those dots. That's why I'm always telling my clients in my healing office, Energy Within Us, that they're supposed to have journal at least for 2 weeks, better for a month. They have to, and it's not just what they ate.
Okay.
Pretty much everything, like even urine pH and saliva pH. That's a good data to have.
Okay.
And sometimes people go to the restaurant, and then a wife said to the husband, "You know what? Look at her journal. 2 weeks ago, when we went to the same restaurant, I had the same heartburn."
Okay.
So now we have something to talk about.
Yes.
So that's why it's so important to have the journal. Because you will not remember. Nobody will remember. But when you have those datas and you have the history, you can now see cause and effect.
So when you talk about pH, you're talking about acidic versus alkaline?
Right. pH is...
Are those tests easily accessible?
Very easily.
You go to like CVS or
I buy online the pH paper, litmus paper.
Okay.
And not always, but every time I pee, if I pee.
Okay. Kind of like a home pregnancy test in a way.
Well, you just tear that piece of paper, you kind of like pee on it and you record.
Okay.
And then you take another piece of paper and you put it in your mouth and spit on it.
Another piece of paper is very important.
Right.
Okay. So that's good. So you ask your clients to take note of their body and what's going on, and they can
lifestyle.
Get a pH test and their lifestyle, what they're eating, what happens after they eat, whether it's heartburn or whether they have a good digestive.
Or even pH. Again, pH is one of the most important parameters. It's really important. And most people don't understand pH well.
So if they have like bloating after certain things that they eat?
They can do that. I mean, anything that is off. It's not like, they might think it's norm. It's their norm.
Okay.
But when you make them think, when you talk about them, for one, they will not stop you. You can talk like 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours, because it's about them.
Right.
And what I'm good at, I make people think. about themselves.
Because you even, like you said in the first episode, you got one lady to remember that she had mono 6 months before. I don't know how you can forget that, but you were able to, through further questioning, I had mono, I forgot. Okay, so this is very important.
Because I go like, what happened then? You know, what was that? What was that? What happened in your life? And that's how you unroll it. But it takes tons of time.
The Western medical system, unfortunately, the physicians don't have the time in their daily routines to spend these moments and these hours with people to detect what is really going on with their medical history, to help the person, to facilitate the person realizing, I like to say realize what's going on. So we were, even though we talked about the process of thermography, I think we're done with that. You can go back to first and second episodes to get a feel as to this important tool in our toolbox for preventative measures, knowing yourself.
What we can say that is important. Okay. I just take images. I take health history. At the end of the session, I normally show my clients what we've done together.
Okay, before you send it to the physician.
Before I send it.
Okay.
Because, it might trigger some of their memory. They might say, you know what, I want to see close up right here.
Right.
And you go like, okay. But whatever it takes for make people kind of like remember.
To add to the medical history for the physician.
Or to the image.
Then or I can take another image.
Right. Like I can point out what their concern is, and they forgot about that. So when I've done that, and clients left, hopefully paid, and left, and then I work without images, prepare them for the doctor's, thermologist, software and hardware, which is different. And then I submit it to the pool of doctors, whoever will pick it up in the first time, they will do, analyze the study and issue interpretation. And they send it to me.
They send you the report.
They send me the report, and I'll check on that, name and obvious mistake, because we all cut and paste. And then I make from that encrypted PDF file password protected, because we're HIPAA compliant. And we talked about your password when we had this session, and then I email it to you. What I start to do additional to emailing it to you, the report, which is password protected. I also text you that your report was sent to you, because sometimes people are missing that, so I need to get it habit. And if you have a family doctor again. Who you want to bring that report, I can email her
to
them too. If that your doctor, family doctor, licensed medical professional, if they have a question, we can arrange the conversation between your thermologist and your medical.
Practitioner. So the two physicians can talk, and so there's a seamless interaction.
The report is written by a medical doctor to a medical doctor. The reason I'm talking to you about your images, because if you don't have anyone and you receive the report, I don't want you to panic. You will say, okay, Genie said the doctor might comment on that, and sure enough. So with that, people who don't have anyone to come to me, and by the way, the scan doesn't need to be. You don't need to have a doctor to send you. How you call it? Not reference, but doctor prescription referral. That's your scan. You pay for that. That's your. But if you have no one to talk about that, we don't want to leave you with what anxiety. So I will be going through your report and trying to explain to you the doctor's medical language with the English with an accent.
I love it. So, you've done so well since you came to America in 1990 and not knowing English at all. I'm so amazed.
Never studied officially English.
That's amazing. You do great.
Well, if you can't understand me, it means an American before you didn't bother to correct me. Americans are very polite. If they understood, they will not correct. I need to be corrected. You're my university.
Well, you get so close that it's,
I'm pretty close.
Yeah.
Because it's really like daily efforts. I'm studying English daily.
Yeah, very nice.
But
So we're talking about, again, preventative measures. And again, this is Genie Goykhberg. I'm Lisa Hayes. To have another gig, host of Dreams for Society, and I'm just having just a blast interviewing you and chatting with you. So in addition to knowing yourself, doing thermography, making what we're going to get into a little deeper, some other lifestyle changes. One of the lifestyle changes could be incorporating breath work.
Absolutely.
We were talking about off camera.
Important.
Yeah.
That's the most important. Seriously. Like, how long can you live without food? About 40 days, right? How long can you live without water? 14 days. How long can you live without air? Depends how quickly you will start to panic, right?
Wow.
Well, maybe 2 minutes, I don't know. So breathing is my favorite breathing exercise.
Right.
Is actually Loomis lymphatic breathing, diaphragm breathing, abdomen breathing, and it's amazing. Seriously, every single person should do that like 5 times when they open their eyes and before they fall asleep. That is, and we can actually attach the video from YouTube, which shows some of our DC doctor, chiropractor, demonstrate that exercise.
Okay, the Loomis breath work. Okay, yes. We'll have a link below this video.
Everyone should do that. Everyone.
Awesome.
It's really make the huge difference.
It seems to be all the rage right now, breathing. Mm-hmm. Maybe because we're having to wear masks a lot and it's still,
it's also really seriously, if it's done, we only have 3 sources that gives us energy.
Right.
Breathing, eating, walking.
Yeah.
It can give us energy or it can take energy from us. Depends how well we do that.
Right.
So better do that well.
Well, I wanted to share with the audience a specific personal thing that happened to me in March of 2021 this year when I was in Egypt. And we already brought in Nefertiti, and Sekhmet. Okay, I've got my necklace and a statue that I bought in Egypt. And Sekhmet is the goddess of healing. She's also talked about as being the goddess of war, but we're going to stick with the healing here, okay? Because really I think she was misunderstood. It's all about peace and healing and everything. And also the lioness. And I've had visions of her face, this particular face, that's why I bought this statue. I've had visions of her face in my third eye when I've been on hikes and stuff, especially down in Mammoth Cave, Kentucky. And so I was really taken with her when we saw her in person, the life-size statue, not the physical Sekhmet like as a human, but we saw the life-size statue in the Karnak temple of Luxor. And it was in the Ptah Chapel, and we got to go in there. It was a very small room, and there she was, life-size. And I started to converse with her, the energetic, and she told me how to breathe. And all of a sudden I'm breathing, and I'm doing some other things, and there was this heart-to-heart connection, and I just went, had this most very unusual, and I'm feeling it right now.
Yeah, I have this
Sekhmet
explanation.
And it was just amazing. I have a video on that, or I talk about it on Dreams for Society with a lady from Zurich, Switzerland that I met there, and she does breath work called Breatholution. So if you go to my Dreams for Society or Lisa Hayes, Hays YouTube channel, you'll see De La Citadel. Back in like the end of March, I think we did an interview together, and I interviewed her, and she talks about her breathwork, Breatholution, and I talk about this amazing experience I had with Sekhmet, and then a couple days later with her doing breathwork, where I found out later that Sekhmet works with the heart, and then the energy goes down and through your hands, and goes outward. As you know, you have healing hands. She's the goddess of healing. So in the second, I'm just getting chills. So in the second phenomenon that happened was when I was doing this breath work with Dela and a group of other people from the Egyptian tour in this beautiful garden area. And it was supposed to be for 2 hours. I did it for an hour, and I've never done that before. And I went in spaces I couldn't even tell you. My body was on fire. It was just, and I could feel energy 6 to 8 feet out from my hands. And I thought, oh my goodness, I've got the healing hands activated here. And so I just wanted to let everyone know this is real.
Russian healers are saying if you feel energy from whatever source, it could be my energy.
Right.
Like 3 meters, which is 9 feet, right? Yeah, somewhat like that. 3 feet, like a meter. 3 feet.
I guess so. Yeah.
So if you feel the energy from whatever source you saw,
right,
3 meters apart, that's a healing energy.
Yeah, because a yard is like a meter, so 3 feet's like a yard. Wow. So it was way out there, and it was just tangible. It was just, and Dela
like
said,
heat.
Yeah, and it was heat, and it was just a stream of energy on both hands. And Dela said, this doesn't happen every time, but you really had a gift given to you, Lisa. So I was very happy about that. Thank you, Sekhmet. And
Thank you so much for visiting us today, joining us.
If we could do this, which I am guilty, I haven't been really doing the breath work, so I'll be looking forward to looking at the Loomis
happy to show it to
methodology.
You because that also works for heart, because these muscles on the back of our how you call that, lower leg.
Yeah.
That muscle that works to bring blood back to heart.
Okay.
So the part of it is working doing that Loomis exercise. It's very easy. You can do that pretty much anywhere. The best way to do that kind of breathing or stretching. Exercise is not for everyone. Stretching is. You never seen a dog or a cat like open their eyes and run to the restroom or to drink. Until they do this, they will not even move. And when you lay down on your back, it's so much easier on your heart, especially for large people. It's not a pressure on their heart. They're doing stretching, they're doing that breathing exercise while they are on their back.
Yeah, that's what we were on our back.
Yeah.
And in the morning, my aunt gave me this hint a few years ago, and I've been working to remember to do this every morning. If we can stretch, just really stretch right when we wake up in our bed, just like legs and everything before we get out of bed, right? That helps me.
There is a machine now, Chi machine, very popular in America. But it was a Japanese doctor who created that goldfish exercise. So you kind of I don't even know, wave your body like you're a fish. And it really regenerates vertebrae. Amazing.
Regenerates what?
The vertebrae.
Oh, vertebrae.
Vertebrae.
Interesting. Yeah, they have a lot of different Chi machines. The Japanese have been so innovative. And I actually have 2 Chi machines, or Soki machines, S-O-Q-I. And you can, pronounce Q-I either Chi or Ki, Soki.
Awesome.
And they're awesome machines. That's another...
But nobody will replace when somebody else had human hands.
That's nice.
And I've learned how to do that on your own, for
Very
yourself,
nice.
and I will show you.
So kind of a snake...
It's kind of like snake move, because at the end of the day, our backbone is pretty much like that.
Right.
So when you do this move, it becomes...
When you're lying down?
When you lie down before you actually go to sleep, so you will see different dreams, more vivid and you will remember.
Wow.
Because then communication, I really think that our backbone is kind of like a rope for a church bell.
Yeah.
It might be even activated like in the lower part, but the sound goes right here, where our C1, C2, C7.
Wow. So we can massage our vertebrae just by doing a snake motion.
Like snake motion.
Before we go to sleep.
Yeah.
We can breathe, and all this is free.
Communication. Oh,
it's free.
how expensive is that?
It's free, and We're just not educated enough or
We're
reminded enough.
Did I mention to you that I'm a master of the forgotten art of ancient healing?
No, I didn't have that in my list.
Well, because back in Soviet Union, we didn't have that well-developed pharmaceutical industry. So we really had to remember, like, what if somebody's grandmother said that another grandmother said something to her, it's normally true. So we forgot
healing.
all of this.
We're just going back to where we were.
Well, we have to pick that up because nobody is in charge of your own health but you, at least so far.
Oh, very good. Well, Genie, this has been so much fun today to learn a little bit more about what we can do with preventative wellness or preventative measures for wellness, I should say.
If you have a desire to be well.
Yes. So until next time, whether we do another episode or not, we'll find out.
We'll figure out.
And until next time, I'm Lisa Hayes, Genie Goykhberg.
Send us questions.
Yes,
we can talk about anything.
Yes.
We know everything. Well,
all of our contact information as well will be below this video.
Thank you so much for listening and watching us and dealing with my accent.
Bye-bye.
Bye.